Hi. Does this mic work? AIDS 2, AIDS 2. I believe in AIDS, but AIDS 2 is real better. Take it to the corner store, show it to my friend. He doesn't know how good it is for him now. I believe in AIDS, but AIDS 2 is real better. Can they take him that? They don't know what they wanted to believe it that. They can show you I believe in AIDS, but AIDS 2 is way better. I've been to the corner store, they can show you that. It ain't really that great, but it don't know what to do with it. I don't believe in AIDS, but I don't want to sell you. I can show you AIDS 2. I can take you anywhere and show it to you. AIDS 2, the new hot single from Earthbound creator Narwhal. AIDS 2, AIDS 2. AIDS 2, AIDS 2, AIDS 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. AIDS 2. Nobody wants AIDS 3. Well, AIDS 2 is the best AIDS. It's the best AIDS of the people. It's the best, simply put. Yeah, AIDS 2 is the best AIDS. It's the best AIDS of the people. It's simply put, it's the best AIDS. Nobody quite has it beat. AIDS 2 is the best AIDS. It's the best AIDS of my people. And I would do anything for the best AIDS to give it all I can. Give it all I can for my AIDS 2. Give it all I can for AIDS 2. What's up, everyone? AIDS 3 is a pipe dream. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. AIDS 2. Hey, yeah, 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 yeah. AIDS 2. Hey, oh, AIDS 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Hey, yeah, yeah. Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Ay, ay, yeah. AIDS 2. AIDS 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. Some say it's an AIDS 2, but some say it's a choo-choo train. Catching that train, spreading it around the land. Got a ticket for AIDS 2, man, I can give it to you if you really want it. Take you far away and show it to you. I can give you AIDS 2 if you really want to. Give it to my friends, I can take it where they want it to go. They can have it. Take it to the place, man, where you want to go. There's all this time to take you that you don't know what you wanted, but I'll give it to you anyway. I can give you AIDS, man, I can show you what you wanted. I don't have a fake, but I don't know what to do except to pass it on. And I can give you AIDS, man, AIDS 2 is the best plan. Nobody really deals with it except for those who want to, like me and you. I can give you AIDS, man, I'm a knuckle spreader. Taken by the friends and they don't have to win again. I can give you AIDS, man, if you want it. Catching on this train, man, taking to the friends, they don't know about it. Taking all the friends and they don't know what to do without it. I can give you AIDS, man, taking on this train, man. Fullest time to know they don't have to do anyway. We can take them to. Anyone can go, we can take them too. Ooh, I can give you AIDS, man, if you really want it. Ticket on the train, man, we're going around. We can take it for anywhere we want it to go. I can give you AIDS, man, if you really want it. We can go around. We don't have to worry about those things they tell you about, 'cause We all got AIDS too, man. Nobody proposes you. Thinking about the friends who wanted to go. Boy, that's what to do. The forest of AIDS. The train goes to the forest of AIDS. Give this to Jeff Rosenstock. He can make AIDS too big, post-rock style. Will Tampa have AIDS? Maybe. Who knows? I gotta find the giveaway tool. I want to give you guys something besides AIDS too. I'm gonna give you a giveaway. It's the giveaway. AIDS 2 giveaway. Who wants AIDS 2? I should give someone AIDS 2. That's what we'll do. Hold on. Dele says, ever been to San Diego Comic-Con? I haven't. I should. That's a lot more and closer. It's only like a 90-minute plane ride. I should do that. Okay, who wants this? I'll sign it too. Hold on. Who wants AIDS 2? Anyone? Anyone? This is a Narwhal NFT also. So in 5 years, you can exchange it for $500 worth of Narwhal goods. Hopefully my star will have risen slightly by then so it won't break my bank, if you know what I'm saying. Jolly Green wants it. F in the chat says, I just got AIDS from watching that. Should I draw some like little like, I don't know if I want to make it gross by drawing the little like viruses, you know. It's not even clear if AIDS 2 is a virus, so we don't know. Maybe it's like an airplane. I said it was a train, but I'm going to draw an airplane on here. Well, it's the plane just drew AIDS 2 in the sky. Okay, so now I gotta find this giveaway tool. Where is the StreamYard giveaway? Giveaway tool. I'm just Googling it. Giveaway tool. Yeah. I get it. There's no link for it though. They just tell you how to use it. I'll find it. StreamYard. Tutorials, strategy. There's no search. How do I find this? Geronimo, what's up, Geronimo? 32 people watching. We're gonna do a giveaway for AIDS 2. Where is it? Did I set it down? Oh yeah. My beautiful dark fist twisted faggotry. You have a new book? Yeah, I'm glad that you mentioned it because that's the main reason why this is a stream. And I'm noticing, and this is actually a good thing, I think. People are messaging me saying, I didn't know you had a new book coming out. And I've been promoting it, but you know, my reach is only so far. But it's like, that means it's getting out there to new people every day. That's a good sign. So definitely, if you're feeling it, faggotry, back that shit. It's Earthbound 3. It's the first double issue floppy for $16, and there's a bunch of extras that you can get too. But yeah, if anyone wants aids to the second Narwhal NFT, the first Narwhal NFT is the Narwhal Loaf. Both these you can trade in 5 years for $500 worth of Narwhal stuff, assuming that my star continues to rise and it doesn't break my bank, which I can at least give you something good or whatever. Like a sketch, in 5 years might be worth like $200 or something. So I can give you like 2.5 sketches. A little bit better than this one. Richard Lucera just made 5,300. Cool. Thanks, Richard, for mentioning. Yeah, that's good. Thanks, everyone. 5,000 in like 9 hours or something. Yeah, we'll see how the first day where it ends, but it's a good, fun first day. Richard Cahill, 5K in a few hours on FMC with no EVS bump is highly impressive. Thanks. Yeah, I mean, definitely will be streaming and promoting with Ethan at some point, because he's the greatest. But yeah, it's like kind of cool. I think I got a little theory brewing. I think Earthbound, at least it's like exhibiting early signs of kind of becoming its own source of gravity, kind of like it's bigger. It'll be bigger than me eventually. People like Narwhal won't be as important as Earthbound. Like it's like the Planet of the Apes or something. Like nobody remembers who thought of that idea, but that's a really good idea. And so Earthbound is like this universe that keeps growing, and it is kind of a good combo of sci-fi, of kind of what people like. It's like a mix of hard sci-fi with mixed with like, I don't know if you like almost like wooey fairy sci-fi or something. So those two things mixed together, dash of real life stuff taking place on Earth, humans, mostly humans, kind of, a little different than Star Trek. But I was going to say, so there is a cool stretch goal. And I think the stretch goal will be, I'm pretty sure it'll be 20K, that is still quite a stretch. If we hit that, that would be amazing. But it feels that's like sort of realistic too. So it's both. It's like could happen, but it's also a little bit of a stretch. If we hit that, I will include a new short story at the end of the comic. So the comic would go from like 48 pages to like 60 pages or 56 or something like that. And that comic, I've already written it, and it was very much tickling me as I wrote it. Me and Jake, we've been talking about interactivity. I wrote a pretty interactive little short story. It was really making me laugh, because that's one thing interactivity can do, is it can be utilized for jokes, but it's basically, at its most basic, it's like a spoof, although it's a little cartoony, but it's like still kind of serious within what it's doing. But it's kind of a spoof of the Star Trek setup, where you have a guy in the engine room and a captain on the bridge, and the captain is, in so many words saying, "Give me all you got. I need more power. I'm giving her all she's got, Captain." The guy in the engine, he's like, turning cranks and doing shit, and he's like, "All right, I'm going to turn the second bilge thruster. Whatever you do not turn it on while I'm working on it." And then something happens, so it gets turned on. He's like, "Ah!" And so it's like that for 8 pages, except better than what I just described. It's going to be a lot of fun. People are going to like it a lot. It's going to be high quality stuff. And I didn't even tell you guys like the best part about it kind of too, but yeah. So I'm trying to find this giveaway tool. Texas Zombie just backed your book. Thanks, Texas Zombie. That's sweet. Yeah, we're getting some backers. This is cool. The original art sold immediately, which is interesting, because you always wonder a little bit about supply and demand, and 2 is not that many, obviously. And it was 115 for a sketch there, like 8.5 by 11, like kind of like this. This is, in my opinion, this is like the least good one that I might give this away or something. I have a few that I really like the art, and they sold right away. So I'm going to put a few more up next week at the same price and see how it goes. Delay. Don't miss on the greatest thing to happen in 2023. Earthbound Grand Prix Fund My Comic. I'm enjoying the combo of working with Fund My Comic on this. It's fun because they're not a huge site yet, so I almost feel like Earthbound's helping them a little bit. They're obviously helping me, but I like to like the feeling that I might be helping them a little bit. I enjoy that, even if it's not true. I choose to believe it. F in the chat. Your shorts seem to be influenced by old short stories. Who are your favorite old short story writers? Interesting. Well, the one that I've been super into lately, what's the guy's name? I'll show you the book. Oh yeah, it's Andrew Lang. And so he's got these short story, or these are fairy tale collections, the green fairy tale book, the red fairy tale book, the brown fairy tale book. There's a gray fairy tale book that I have on my nightstand that I've been reading now. And I love these. I don't know why I've continued. It's kind of been a thing where they've grown on me because I've been slowly reading them over the past like 10 years. But it's getting to the point now where it's almost only thing I read until I finish them all. Then I'll read something else. But these are short stories, but you don't know who wrote them ever. It's only Andrew Lang compiling them, but he's a great compiler. And they are like 50-50. Like not all of them are amazing, but you do read some and you're like, damn, that was like amazing. But one thing I like about them is that a lot of them are old enough that they don't follow any kind of structure that makes that much sense. And I find that refreshing. Like I just read one the other night. It's a pretty long one where like, I might be getting a few of them mixed up. They're all good though. There's one where like a girl, it starts with the old man who has 12 daughters and he's just working all the time to work for them. Then he meets a lizard in a cave that scares the crap out of him, a giant lizard, but it's a female. And she says, hey, I can help you. You're having trouble taking care of 12 kids? Well, give your youngest to me. I'll take her. And he's like, she's probably going to eat my baby. And the lizard's like, if you don't give her to me, you will surely regret it. And so he's like, okay, fine. So he goes home and he asks his wife, he's like, the lizard lady wants our youngest daughter. Can I give her to him? Or should we like try and fight her or what? I don't trust her. And the wife is like, you know what? I do trust her. Give her the baby. So they give the lizard the baby, woman the baby, the little baby. And then that guy and his wife and the family, they're never mentioned in the story ever again. Then it's all about the lizard and the baby. But that reminds me of in Seinfeld, there's a joke where crap, hold on, I just got to think of what all the characters' names, if I can even think of it. Kramer, he always talks about his friend that he talks on the phone all the time with. I can't think of his name, but I think he's a guy that you never see, but he's Kramer's friend and he's always like Joey Fitzwater or whatever. And so he's talking all about this guy to Elaine for like a minute straight about what they're doing. And then he starts on the real story and she's like, what about that guy? And he goes, well, his part of the story is finished, but it had nothing to do with anything of what he was saying. That's like what fairy tales are like. And it's kind of nice. But then just to finish what happens in that story is then the lizard lady, she raises the girl in like a magical castle as a beautiful prince. She becomes a beautiful princess and she raises her perfect. So happy everything's good. The girl's happy. And the lizard lady's happy. And then a prince eventually gets lost in the woods and helped by the lizard lady. And I don't know if the lizard lady plans it this way, but she has her daughter help the prince. When the prince becomes a guest, she's the one who like serves him and stuff. So he immediately falls in love with her. He asks the lizard lady's hand for her daughter in marriage. And the lizard lady says, sure. And here's actually a ton of money to go with it. The dowry. So the prince is like, oh, cool. So then the young daughter, or the princess now, runs off with the prince. And she never says thank you to the lizard lady. And so, which they halfway through the story, they start calling the lizard lady a fairy. And they don't even call her a lizard after that, which is kind of funny. But so that she doesn't say thank you to the fairy. So the fairy turns her head into a donkey's head. And so the prince is like, shit, everyone's going to laugh at me if they know I'm married to a donkey-faced girl. So he hides her in the highest tower and just gives her like things to do to keep her busy. And she doesn't know she's a donkey. And so she's like, I'm supposed to be this guy's wife, and he's treating me like a slave. He's making me like weave all these baskets and stuff. This is so stupid. So she refuses to do the work. But then on the day of when the work is due, she gets really scared that she's going to get yelled at. So she runs to the fairy and asks the fairy to help her. She's like, I really need like some baskets because I was supposed to weave these baskets for him. I haven't been weaving them. Can you magically give me some baskets to get me out of this bind? The lizard lady's like, sure, fine. But then she doesn't say thank you again. So she's kind of mad again. And then there is like a fairy tale thing. Like it happens 3 times. On the 3rd time, a random old man shows her a mirror and he's like, you've been a bitch to the fairy. You probably should apologize. This is what you look like. And she's like, oh shit, I'm a donkey. And so she runs up to the lizard lady and she's like, I am so sorry. I should have thanked you. I'm so sorry. And the lizard lady's like, it's okay. And she turns their head away from a donkey and they live happily ever after. Okay. Oh. Tungsten, congrats, man. Got to go. Take care. Thanks, Tungsten. Good to see you, buddy. Tungsten's got something special in the works. Iodine. This feels like a fractured fairy tale from Rocky and Bullwinkle. I'm kind of curious what those are now. I want to check those out. Bob Sacamano. Yeah. She's like, what about Bob Sacamano? Well, his part of the story is finished. I'm going to get coffee and be right back. We got 52 people watching. I just got to figure out the stupid drawing. Maybe I still have it open somehow. I think I closed it. Oh, I have it open. Check it out. Can't believe I was looking for it for 5 minutes and I had it open the whole time. Joe won the last one. Okay. Oh, I'll be right back. I kind of want to tell you guys one more donkey-faced girl story. I can't know if I can remember this one all the way through, but see if I can remember it. It's a girl traveling in the forest with her sisters, and she sees this giant hunk of metal, and she thinks it's cool, so she wants to take it back. But her sisters are like, they've been picking flowers. They all have flowers. She has a giant hunk of metal, and they're like, we're gonna go. You should come with us. Just drop the metal. And she's like, no, I'll be back later. It'll take me a little bit longer, but I'm going to haul this hunk of metal all the way home because it's pretty cool. And they're like, okay. And then as soon as the sun goes down, she's alone. The hunk of metal turns into a giant ogre, grabs her, throws her over his shoulder, and takes her to his castle, which is 1 month travel away to the west. And he just keeps her there all the time. But he's like kind of nice to her, but she doesn't like being there because she's sort of prisoner. And then a random traveler stumbles by and she tells him, she's like, you're traveling? And he's like, yeah. She's like, can you, in the book too, they call him a Jew. They say a Jew travels by. And so he's like a merchant or whatever. And he's a good guy in the story. It's not like an anti-Semitic story, but they just say a Jew. And so she tells him, she's like, are you going to this town? He's like, well, not really, but I could. And he's like, do you need help? She's like, well, yes, but you can't do anything because he'll kill you. So what I need you to do is go to my hometown, tell my husband or my fiance that I've been kidnapped by an ogre 1 month to the west. Just tell him that, he'll come and get me. And he's like, okay. So he takes off, eventually gets there, tells the husband. And then the husband is like, can you go with me some of the way? Because I don't know like all the way. And the guy's like, I'm not going back in the other direction like a month. Why would I do that? I just came from there. I'm a traveling merchant. Come on. And the husband's like, or the fiance is like, well, maybe one day. Just come with like 1 or 2 days with me. And he's like, okay, fine. So he goes back 2 days with the husband. Then he's like, all right, now you know the way to go. It's that way 1 month. All right, I'm out of here. Then he leaves the story forever. So again, it's kind of funny that he just sticks in for another little bit, like for whatever reason. So then the husband runs back. Oh, the reason he does her the favor is because she tells him where water is because he was so thirsty. So there's even like some fun logic to it, kind of like some quid pro quo. So then the fiance does make it to her, and they kind of hatch a scheme to escape. I kind of forget. He ends up like climbing up into her place, and then from there they wait for him to sleep. And there's some weird stuff going on. Like whenever he sleeps, the castle becomes red and glows red. But it's glowing like blue for a while. And she's like, he's not asleep yet. So they wait for it to glow red. Then they kind of get out of there. But then his dog wakes him up, and his dog is like, yo, that bitch you kidnapped and her fiance are escaping. And the ogre's like, I'm sleeping. And he kicks his dog, and because he doesn't really wake up. But then he wakes up, and then I think the dog maybe dies at some point, which is sad and weird, but I can't remember. But anyway, so the ogre runs after him, and they do all these things to delay him because they stole some shit from him so they could delay him. Like they hatch a huge forest magically, but he plows through it. At the very end, though, they get away, but he sees him in the distance, and he goes, pow, and he turns the head of the woman into a donkey. And then the fiance, he looks at her and he's like, have I been rescuing a donkey-faced woman this whole time? We can't have that. And he leaves her, and she's like, what the fuck? You're just leaving me? And he's like, leaves. So then he leaves for like a couple weeks or something, because it takes him a couple weeks to get home. He immediately feels guilty. He's like, she is my fiance. I shouldn't just leave her. Maybe I can like hide her. So he comes back, and they kind of have a little bit of a fight where she's like, you left me. He's like, I know, I'm sorry. She's like, why did you do that? He's like, I don't know. I thought you were a witch. She's like, I'm obviously not a witch. And he's like, okay, well, anyway, you want to come back with me or not? And she's like, sure. So she comes back with them, and they just hide her in a closet for like a year. She just stays in a closet. No one can see her because they don't want anyone to see her. Just her and her mom. Her mom knows too. And then at the very end, there's something. Another traveler comes by and sees the ogre, and the ogre's like, I'm not going to kill you. And the guy's like, okay, I didn't know that was on the table. And the ogre's like, if you travel to this town, you'll find a girl there with a donkey-faced head. Can you give her this comb? Tell her to comb her hair with this head. It'll make her donkey face go away. And so the guy just travels back, does that. So at the end of the story, it's not really resolved other than the ogre, she's been punished long enough. Then he's like, okay, here's how you undo it. Because it's kind of nice though, because he like does like her, and he lived with her for a long time. And so then she applies the comb and turns back into a human, and then her and her husband live happily ever after. And they're cousins, by the way. That's the other funny thing. It's just like matter of fact. Oh yeah, two cousins that were betrothed. Blah 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 blah. Michael Duche, sounds like a parable about the first time you see her without makeup. That's funny. Yeah, nobody time anyone out unless it's like one of those porn bots or whatever. I think that's what sometimes happens is the chat's always moving. So you like go to click on a bot to like mute it, and then you accidentally click on someone else. Yeah, I'll send some links here for if anyone wants to hop in. Abra, only if you feel like it. You already did some good time helping me this morning. But yeah, we're getting sales. I'm like, are the donkey-faced woman fairy tales why I'm getting sales? Do people like donkey-faced woman fairy tales? I could tell more. I actually only know 2. But it's funny, there were two like pretty close together in the book. NBC Oasis, marrying your third or second cousin was normal back in the day. Yeah, that's like what the deal was. Okay, so I got some things to do here. I got to send the link to a few people. One second while I do this. You guys hear that typing? I have to get earphones. I think it's over 100 backers now too, which is kind of cool. It's like at 103 or something like that. Spending time with the hubby a bit for perhaps later. Yeah, definitely. Boing. I plugged in my microphone or my headphones and I was like, boing. Send the link to Alex Ross. Madison Herman, how do we enter the giveaway? I'm going to type a key here and I'll kind of type it with what it is. So the key is, oops, it's AIDS 2. The A is capital. Start collecting. So now all you got to do is type AIDS 2 into the chat and they will get the AIDS 2 NFT, which if you guys missed it, if you hold on to it for 5 years and give it back to me, I'll give you $500 worth of narwhal stuff. So it will accumulate in value. You just have to put it in your closet. And there's 2 of them so far. There's a loaf of bread and then the AIDS 2 airplane, which is just drawing it in the sky. It says 19 entries. Jetto Jago, what up? Someone gave my work a funny compliment today. It was on the trailer for Earthbound Grand Prix launch trailer. And someone said, never have I enjoyed a story so much while not understanding what's going on. I was like, I'm pretty sure that's an awesome compliment, potentially, depending on how you want to look at it, which I choose to look at it differently. Average 2 cents. The NFTs are awesome idea. Cardboard NFTs, narwhal, yo, homeless cardboard. 22 entries. There's 69 watching, so I'm going to wait for it to get up a little bit higher here. Let me see. Yeah, there it is. 23. Does this mean that 50 of you are bots? Please, come on. Or maybe you don't want the AIDS 2 NFT. Is it too good for you? You too good for it? Henry Bemis, narwhal fungible tokens. Yeah, but they're just these cardboard slabs that say AIDS 2 and also a loaf of bread. Richard Cahill, that's a review of most David Lynch movies. That's true. Well, the thing I noticed when he said that, I was like, oh, if it's actually good and people are legit enjoying it, but not fully understanding what's going on, it means they understand on a very small scale the moment. Because if you don't understand the moment, then you're like, it actually is boring. So it means all the moments, like the flow and the moment is like strong and nice and cool. But then like the overall thing, they don't fully put it together or whatever. Norman Rad comes in with the AIDS 2 lyrics. 27 entries. I think I'm gonna roll the dice on it here pretty soon. So yeah, and then I'll tell you there is like some steps. Abra's like, no one wants AIDS. 28. I'm gonna wait like 10 seconds, and if there's no more entries, we're gonna roll on it. Henry Bemis. It's a loaf of bread drawn on a cardboard slab. Sark, this tool is of questionable quality. It looks cool though, so it's a lot of fun. 29 entries. We're gonna wait just a little bit longer. Nintendo Ginger, what's up? You might win the AIDS 2 NFT fungible token from Narwhal. And if you hold on to it for 5 years and give it back to me, I'll give you $500 worth of Narwhal merch. Assuming it doesn't break my bank at the time. Like if I'm down on my luck, I'll still give you some good stuff, but I don't know about how it'll work. Where will we all be in 5 years? Where will the world be? I do worry about that. I'm like, if the world ends, like it won't actually end, but maybe if there's some real, it'd be weird to be an artist at a certain point. If the world is getting real like caveman-esque and you're like, oh, I still want to just make comics. Is that cool, everyone? Hype Wizard, I'll be dead. Avi Fagan says AIDS 2. Whoa, we're getting 37 entries. A lot more. It's good we waited. I'm rooting for Avi to win this one. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? Cave drawings. 41. Okay, I'm going to roll it. We're doing it. Boing. Look. Who's getting it? Oh, look at that. I recognize that name. 81 people watching, by the way. Simply Green, winner of AIDS 2 chicken dinner. Look at that. This is what you've won, Simply Green. Look at what you've won. The Narwhal fungible token, Narwhal NFT. Hold on to it for 5 years. Give it back to me. I'll give you $500 worth of Narwhal merch. So what you got to do, Simply Green, though, is email me. I have my email is in the description of this live stream. Email me and say like, yo, I'm Simply Green. I won the AIDS 2 thing. And I'll be like, sick. And then that'll be that. I got some more shit I can give away. What should I give? Did I grab some stuff? Where is it? I'm going to grab a few more things to give away. We'll keep going. Henry Bemis, it's an investment in AIDS 2. Yeah, that's right. Ever's 2 cents, not rigged. Okay. Jolly Green says, play the trailer. You know what sucks? My internet's too slow to play it, I think. But the trailer's sweet. People are loving it. And it took me a long ass time to do. It was kind of an investment. But it communicates the book really well, which is nice. And yeah, it turned out pretty good. It was fun. Lots of fun. I get Jolly Green and Simply Green mixed up. Yeah, so what I'll do is I got a few of these. Sure, yeah. This box, this is like the first Earthbound campaign. And I had like some that were returned to sender and some that I boxed. And they just I boxed them and didn't need to mail them because I boxed too many. So this has been boxed for like 6 years, maybe 5 years, maybe 4 years. I forget the timeline. Feels like 5 years. I don't know what's in this. I'm pretty sure it's Earthbound 1 signed. It feels like it might be 2 books though. So it's kind of a fun mystery package. I got a few of these. I got 5. Jeddah Jaga says that box started the Iron Age. It did. This is the box that started the Iron Age. Who wants it? So for this, we'll do one more thing for this. You know what I got to do? I got to rip off obviously the old shit on it. So I'm only showing one side, but I'll easily do that before. Okay, so I do that, and then we go like this. Now this is mist box 1. Mist box 1. You have to type that. That's a little bit longer. I wonder if that's weird, but type that. It'll enter you mist box 1, and that person is going to win this mystery box. We got like 4 or 5 of these we're giving away, but this is maybe the thickest of all of them. It's sturdy. You know what this is? I think this is a hardcover. Ooh, that's kind of, hold it this way. But that's like there's nothing on there anyway, but there could be. So a hardcover, that's like $100 value. Those go for on eBay, and usually if I put them on a campaign, they get marked up, because the other thing is those might not get reprinted for a long time because the demand has to be high enough to justify a new print run. So, which it's sort of, you know, I don't know. You could do, yeah, like it's hard to know. You'd have to be like, you have to do its own campaign and see if it gets to like 100 or something. Mist box 1. We got 32 entries. Sark says, the one book I don't have is the hardcover. Yeah, I got to get that. Mist box 1. Mist box 1. That's hard to say. Oh, yeah. We have some more stuff. Mist box 1. Henry Bemis. All my Narwhal books are soft cover. Yeah, we got some hardcovers. I have like, I don't know, I have like 30 left of part 2, and I have like, I don't know, 50 part 1 left. So I'm giving away a few here and there. Nintendo Ginger. I feel like it should be higher than 38. Sometimes you just got to wait just a little bit. Geronimo says, what's going on here? We're doing a drawing for this box, Mist Box 1. Which means I'm going to mark it too as Mist Box 1. Type in Mist Box 1, enters you into the drawing to win Mist Box 1. What's in the box? What's in the box? Oh, God. What's in the box? I know. I'm making a little bit of an effort to organize this, but no matter how I organize it, it's a little bit of a shit show. But I'll be able to figure. But I think tomorrow I'm going to try and actually get a lot of these out and just mailed off, because then I can kind of forget it. So straight up tomorrow, some of these will be going out. I'm going to be grabbing pizza in a sec, so no rush. Cool. 45. Yeah, I'm going to hit draw here in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go. Who's going to win this one? Is it Cool Teen? Is it Dr. Bean? Is it Marcus Esser, Aaron Klein, Haldir, Tattoo Weenie wins Mist Box 1. Mist Box 1. Tattoo Weenie, congratulations. This is yours, Tattoo Weenie. You've won Mist Box 1. Just email me. My email is in the description of this live stream, and say, hey, I'm Tattoo Weenie. I won Mist Box 1. Here is my what do you call it? Shipping. And I have been for you, I forgot to say it beforehand, but if you're international, I have been asking that you split shipping with me 50-50. But if you are domestic, don't worry about it. And in your case, that's not a big deal. But on the next one, that is true, everyone. Jolly Green says, Narwhal, is this rigged? I don't think so. I just clicked the button, yo. I think it's pretty whatchamacallit, random. Jolly Green, I forget are you based in Seattle? Not that you'd feel free not to share that, but are you like local dude-ish? I'm like in Washington State, everyone. That's why I ask. Who would have the gall? I'd be crying rigged if this were on Bancroft's channel. Yeah, we should go. Okay, we can move on straight on to one more, maybe. I'll put it up and we'll wait kind of a long time for this one. So this one is not in a box. Hold on. This one is Earthbound 1 and 2 hardcovers. This is potentially a $200 value. That's like, I don't know if people would actually pay that much, but they do sell for $100 each on eBay. And usually if I buy in bulk, I'll sell them for like $120 together. So pretty good value for this one. That's pretty good. This is a good special reward. We got 91 people watching. I want a lot of people entered in this one. So this one, the code is get hard. Oh, I didn't share it. Get hard. Make up Bancroft. I love how he doesn't even show his campaign. What's it at? We're getting sales. We're getting sales. We're getting sales, everyone. This is good. We're just trying to have a little fun here. But yeah, I hope we get at least 50 entries on this one. We got 87 people watching. I want 50 signups to win these hardcovers. To ship them will be expensive international, and I'm going to ask you to split it with me. So only enter if you are okay with that, and we'll just go to the next in line if you already entered and want to back out or whatever. It might be like $20 or something shipping, because they're kind of heavy. Oh, 52 signups. We'll wait a little bit longer and see if it pops up here. My beautiful dark twisted faggotry says, I'm too scared to win any of these. Why are you scared, twisted faggotry? I tell you guys something. It's hot over here where I am right now. I went for a jog earlier. It was very, very hot outside. Very sunny, but it's kind of nice. But I don't know. I said I was going to go into this crack central zone that I want to explore. But it's kind of sketch. And I did not. I think I want my scooter, and I didn't take my scooter. So I avoided it. So I still haven't explored Crack Central. 56. Haldir 6480. Sleep Hunter. This is a good one. This is for the combo, both hardcovers of Earthbound. Anywhere from $120 to $200 value between the two of these. Very limited editions. 57. Okay, we're going to wait just a little bit longer. We're going to click the button. Click on the button. 2 hardcovers. All right, we're clicking it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boing. Look at everyone who signed up. I don't even know if it went through. Jordan Horst, dude, it fakes you out. I was like, Bancroft won. Then people would accuse it of being rigged. But I was like, Bancroft, that'd be sweet. Jordan, congratulations. Nice nice profile pic. I know, Bancroft, it teases so hard, that is like, I don't know if that's a good thing. That's too much. I feel bad for Bancroft when it does. It did that to you earlier, Hype Wizard. Jake, it messed with Jake too. Avi says, don't forget to back Earthbound Grand Prix by Narwhal and fund my comic. Thanks, Avi. Glad you're here, Avi. Glad you're hanging out. So Jordan, my email is in the description of this stream. Just email me, say, this is Jordan Horst. I won the drawing for the 2 hardcovers. This is my address. And your name sounds like you're domestic shipping, so probably don't worry about it. But if you are international, we'll figure that out too. Jordan says, that made my month. Awesome. This is fun. Giving away stuff. I wish I could give away 91 things and everyone you get something, you get something, you get something. You know what? I am going to do something sort of like that is just, I want to give everyone, it's not really a stretch goal, but yeah, I guess you could almost call it a stretch goal that's already been reached or something, but I want to give everyone something kind of special. If it's just even like a limited edition trading card, like maybe a Blowgart trading card, and it won't be available on that trading card won't be on any other campaigns ever. So people backing on Fund My Comic, everyone who backs it, no first day stuff, no secret link stuff. Everyone who backs it gets the Blowgart trading card. We'll go ahead and say that. We'll make that. It is written. It is spoken. It is passed down through legend, tales. Simply Green. Also, if it's easier, so long as you don't forget, don't mind if you slip in that Azu drawing in with Grand Prix when I get around to ordering. Yeah, we can do that. And if I forget, then it's fine. I'm still good for it. But you can remind me too. But we might do that. Both try and remind each other. Perth says, give away some river water. Maybe that should be the 3rd NFT. Let me see. Okay. So to people who don't know, we're giving away NFTs, which are like, see if I can have one here. So like this is a Narwhal NFT. So this is a fungible token. If you hold on to this for 5 years and give it back to me, you actually do have to give it back, and I'll take it back. Then I will give you $500 worth of Narwhal merch in 5 years. 5 years is a long time. We don't know where the world will be. But in the meantime, it's no skin off your back. I'm giving these away for free. But eventually, it'll be, I'm going to release 3 of them now. So that'll be $1,500 worth of shit that I'm giving away in 2028. And so as long as it doesn't break my back to do it. But I feel, like a sketch is like worth, $100 at least, a nice sketch. So I could give you like 5 nice sketches. It's not that big a deal. So this has nothing on it though. So what are we doing? What was the fungible token? Oh yeah, bath water. So hold on, let's see if I can draw it like this maybe. What kind of container is it in? Should it say narwhal bathwater or just bathwater? I don't really take, river water. Sorry, I almost wrote the wrong thing. River. People will know it's narwhal river water then. River water. I'll sign it. That's how you know it's authentic. And maybe just a little bit of splooge. Just a little bit of splink, splout, a little sploot. Okay, so that's the NFT, fungible token. 5 years, this is worth $500. And we're going to give it away right now. So I'm going to put up the Perth says precum. You never know. River water, you know, the matter, the water, the H2O, those molecules, they've probably been precum at some point in the 26 billion years that the universe has been in existence. Just think about that. Okay. Boing, boing. Reload. Doing. And yeah, so it's river water, capital R, capital W, river water. Aaron Klein says the way inflation is going in 5 years, a single backing board might be going for $5. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. $24 entries. Yeah, but the future is. Yeah, I'm not that optimistic, but I was thinking for one thing, I don't think AI is going to replace everyone and ruin everything. I was just kind of thinking that. And I was thinking there is no fourth dimension. Everyone says like, if there's like a second dimension, there's got to be a fourth dimension, right? Because there's a third dimension. It's like, no, it stops at 3. That's what I say. Pretty sure too. Like I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure. Those are my big statements. AI is not going to replace everyone's job, and there is no fourth dimension. And I know people will say third dimension with time is the fourth dimension. Yeah. I'm not talking about that though. Tattoo Winnie, just sent the email to you regarding Mistbox 1. Can you let me know when you receive it? Thanks and good luck with good luck with the campaign. Yeah, I'll respond to you, Tattoo Winnie, after the stream. So produce right away. Thank you so much. Thanks for the $9.99. That can go towards shipping. Narwhal bashing string theory. Does string theory say that there's a fourth dimension? There definitely is not a fourth dimension, but I could be wrong. But that's what I say, because I was like, the dumb logic too. This is my dumb logic. I was like, they say supposedly all the dimensions can look down, apparently, but they can't look up. I think so. Like second dimension can't possibly fathom and see the third dimension, but they can see the first dimension. Third dimension can't possibly fathom and see the fourth dimension, but they can see the second dimension. I was like, no, I'm pretty sure everyone can fathom everything, and there just isn't a fourth dimension. F in the chat. Time is the fourth dimension. I know. I'm not talking about that though. Like, because then you could be like, the second dimension with time is the third dimension. The third dimension with time is the fourth dimension. So then, sure, if you want to frame it that way, you could too. River water. 38. We're gonna click it pretty soon. Jordan Horse Strong theory. I wonder. I will make a rule too. People can't win twice. Sorry, that just made me think of it, and in case that does happen. So you can still enter if you want. Maybe I'll give you something else or something smaller, like another NFT, a narwhal fungible token. There's going to be 3 in existence. I'll probably cap it at that. Maybe I'll do 5 total because I don't want to have to give away $2,500 worth of stuff in 2028. What's even going to happen in 2028? Nobody knows. 89 people watching. How's it going, everyone? Tippy Tail. I'm drinking Pabst Blue Ribbon. I got to get a clip of that from Blue Velvet. Got to get some clips. Need to get some clips. Okay. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Boing. Jolly Green. Wait, did Jolly Green already win or Simply Green won? So now Jolly Green won. All the greens win. I don't think Jolly Green has won yet. Simply Green was one who won earlier. 2028, Scott Baio will be president. Could be. Both greens. It does seem to like green. I've noticed that. Jolly Green, are you in the chat? So if all you got to do now is, oh, there you are. John Elway was born in Port Angeles. Oh, nice. Just email me. My email's in the description of the stream and say, yo, I'm Jolly Green. I won the River Water and Fungible Token NFT cardboard slab. These are the 20 slabs that Narwhal came down off of the mountain with 20 cardboard slabs eventually. They're out there. And yeah, I'll get back to you. So we did that, we did that, we did that. Maybe just one more. One more mystery box. This one's sturdy too. I think this is another hardcover. So Logan Effing, hello, I am Jolly Green. Fungible sounds like sponge. Oh, fungible, I should say. Sponge. Fungible. Okay, this is probably the last one, but might keep streaming, but one last giveaway for now. Can do a few more later. They'll just be mystery boxes I'm getting down to pretty much. But this one is Mist Box 2. Mist Box 2. Capital M, blah, 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 blah. Box 2. Type this, 95 people watching. Type this in the chat to win this mystery box, which feels like a hardcover. So that's nice. Probably, I think the era is Earthbound 1, so not Earthbound 2, Earthbound 1. Mist Box 2. We're still getting some backers on the campaign, which is nice. Appreciate it, everyone. I think we're at 108, which is great. I kind of, in my head, I was thinking 100 on the first day would be pretty nice. And we're going to blow pretty far past that. You know, it's kind of a little apples to oranges comparison in a couple different ways because it's on Fund My Comic. It's not launched on a big channel. So those two things combined make you think the first day might be smaller, but it's still doing great, which is awesome. But it's interesting because the Cerberus first day, I'm pretty sure it was 14K in the first day. And that was with Ethan launching it with me, 14K. But then it was slow all the way to the end. It had a really nice last day too. And so I was kind of like, I almost, if I can do a little something to shake the box up, so to encourage it to be a little bit more like trickly, natural throughout the whole campaign rather than everything at the beginning and then a little bit at the end. So I was like, maybe I almost like that more. Hype says, show us the campaign. We will in a second. We're going to do this drawing here. We got 48 people, 49, 101 people here hanging out. 101's a good little number watching. I feel like I can't just end the stream. Maybe I'll grab my guitar again and we'll start singing about some AIDS too up in here. Anybody want to know about a little something called AIDS too? Okay, 50. Oh, it keeps going up a little bit, so I'm waiting for it. 51. That's good. That means only 40 bots right now in the chat. Got 50 legit peeps. 50 humans with hearts. That randomly reminds me, I forget where I saw it, but it was like a college basketball game, and they were interviewing a kid after a game who had a great game, and they had won or whatever basketball, and they're like, "What? Your teammate played the best game ever. He won, hit the game-winning shot for you, you know?" And he's like, "What?" He just said, like, "Yeah, man, he's just the best teammate ever. He's heartless, man. He's just heartless." I was like, that's funny. He was like trying to think of nice things. He's like, he leaves it all in the court. He's just heartless. 55 is that my cold black heart. Okay. So I'm going to click it in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. See, I don't even know if it goes through 55 possibilities as it rolls, which is interesting. Linkovich Chomsky. What's up, Link Chomp? How's it going, Linkovich Chomsky? You know what's fun? These are my regulars. My regulars are winning. There's a lot of regulars here. I hope everyone can win, but it's fun to see these names that I've seen for the past 3 years winning some giveaways. Perth Comics says rigged. So Linkovich Chomsky, just my email is in the description of this stream. Email me, say, yo, my name is Linkovich Chomsky, and I won Mist Box 2. This is my address. If it's foreign, we'll work out a way for you to throw me $10 or whatever to help a little bit with shipping. And we'll do that. Okay, and with that, that can be the last giveaway for now. I think there might have been like 10 giveaways so far. It's pretty good, pretty good, pretty good, pretty good. 98 people watching. Madison Herman, I know. I'm sorry you got screwed. I saw that. It does that. It's crazy. It's funny. Geronimo, another person I hate now. Avi says, I have to log off, but all the love and congrats on the strong open to the campaign. Thanks, Avi. Super stoked. Avi is the literal OG, like kind of believer and fan of Earthbound, and it means a lot to me. Literally, like 2017, 2016 even or something. He told me that he thought it was great, and I didn't believe in myself even back then, and Avi believed in me. So forever grateful. Literally the number one fan is Avi. Yeah. Okay, so what was I going to say? Oh yeah, let's look at the campaign. I don't think it's been updated in a while, so assuming it can load. Assuming it can like load. 106. Boom! Approaching 6K. 106 backers. Thanks, everyone. That's awesome. Stoked. You know what I've noticed is, at least on first glance, there's a few. Yeah, like people don't want interactivity. I think a lot of people already have it, is the thing. It's sold like 1,000 copies so far. So a lot of my regulars already have it. I was kind of excited to sell more interactivity on this campaign, but it's not selling. Robozan is selling, which is awesome. Cover B, Cerberus. See, not too many people are picking up Cerberus. If you haven't got Cerberus, that's an awesome book. So consider it. here's Robozan and Interactivity 3. So there's some interactivities that got sold there. Covers maybe one interactivity. This is an interesting one. This is the 3 floppies of the campaign. So there's Grand Prix cover 1, Grand Prix cover 2, which is this by Matt Cosson, which isn't done yet, but it's going to be amazing. It's a lot of fun to work with Matt. He's one of my favorite artists. And I was like, he's one of the only people I can trust to hand over my baby to him and give him some Earthbound. He's the first artist, I think, to officially draw Earthbound besides me. No, that's a lie. Fresher Luke drew some Earthbound and in the shorts on the compendium. But yeah, Robozan's kind of a little secret book that's out there with this campaign. That story was released in the compendium, and it's a 36-page short story. So it's going to be kind of like a double issue comic on its own here. But that was one I was really proud of when I finished. I was really excited to share it. And I sent it to your boy, Zach, and he goes, "This is the best thing you've ever done. But it should be its own campaign," whatever. And then I sent it to Mark Millar, and then he gave me the quote. He goes, "Best storyteller in comics right now. This guy is absolutely the best storyteller in comics right now." Is because I sent them Robozan. So that one's a good, pretty sweet, fun short story. And that one has like tons of action, which is a good little bonus. And then we got the catch-up tier. Only 9 so far. See, I would maybe expect more. But again, it's like a lot of people have, especially like the regulars and stuff, they already have Earthbound 1 and 2. But every one of those is kind of someone that I know we're bringing in new. And I love that. I love anyone new coming, wants to get in on Earthbound. Then yes, please do. I'm super stoked about that number. So hopefully that continues to go up. We'll get some more first timers. But then the thing too is, one of the fun things about this comic is you actually don't need to read part 1 and 2 to enjoy this. It's going to kind of be like, it'll be like the comment, even part 1, like the one reader said, "I've never enjoyed a story so much while not understanding what's going on." And this will be a little bit like that too. And so, but it's okay. Like, it's okay to not know everything, and answers do come. Some answers don't matter. Some answers you can make up for yourself. But all the in the moment stuff is all there, all makes sense, which is important. And it gets all that right. It's a lot of fun with all that stuff. Was I going to say one other thing? I was going to say, oh, you know what we might do? I was just thinking about reminiscing about Earthbound. Maybe we might read a little bit of it here. I know a lot of you guys might have already read it, but we'll go over a little bit of it because I was looking at it and I'm proud of that book. I like that book a lot. It's kind of funny because it's becoming a little bit of a time capsule where never again and never before will I draw that ridiculous, of that like loose and that like super kind of like almost abstract, which is pretty fun. I think I'm like, man, this comic is pretty cool. It's cool like how borderline abstract the art is. And I continue to get a little bit better. And then I'm trying some of these other workflows where I'm building 3D environments and using those as the backgrounds, which is a lot of fun. And I do love that. And I love that look. Like, this is that look, it's like this is great for storytelling too, because you get lots of consistency. Like, it's basically like perfect consistency, which is what I really like. It's kind of one of my favorite things to try and get. That's why I do like this workflow. But and I'm going to explore a few in the future. Like with Percival, I'm going to try and do all traditional art. But the days of just scribbling digitally, super loose, weird, abstract art and just slapping it up on the page and calling it good, those days might never come again. So it's like Earthbound. It's got this cool, weird book. Snuggie says, only 14 days. Going to launch another platform after. I will decide at the end, and I might extend it a little bit, and I might, end it and not relaunch, or I might end and relaunch. So one of the 3 options, I'm not sure yet. The main thing to keep in mind now for this one too is there is a big stretch goal at 20,000 is one thing. So that if it hits 20,000 on Fund My Comic, that'd be so awesome. That's our big goal. What that is including a really awesome short story that's already written. It's gonna be so good. In the comic, like huge added value. It'll add the page count, like 8 pages, a whole other story. Great short story. That'll be sweet. And what else? Oh, and everyone, I have to write this down because I'm kind of announcing it on this stream, but everyone who backs on Fund My Comic gets the Blogart trading card, and nobody else gets that ever. Only on this campaign do you get that ever. And so there'll only be like 50 of them. He might get another card, but this iteration, it'll be different art or whatever. So this iteration of Blogart, and there's been 3 so far. There's Julia, WizKid, and now Blogart is the 3rd. Richard Lesueur, any chance of using Indiegogo at a later date? Definitely. One of the main reasons, though, that I chose Fund My Comic is I felt the energy. It feels kind of fun to jump on this wave of like taking our destiny in our own hands. That was really fun. Kelsey felt it too. And some of Kelsey doing it definitely right around there. I was kind of thinking about it too, but all that stuff is very motivational and fun. And then the other big thing is Indiegogo is still being stupid ass bitches with the shadow banning and stuff. So I'm like, yeah, I would love to not use them anymore if that is actually an option. Snuggy Jr., $16, great price point for the book. Yeah, and especially if you get that short story, it's going to be like a 56-page comic for $16. Other people are charging like $25 for that much. Yeah, so it'll be cool. Preach, Jolly Green. If you love rigged giveaways, you'll love Earthbound Grand Prix. Nintendo Ginger, too much great stuff coming from CG. I need more money. I know it's awesome though. But yeah, Dr. Ben says relaunch. Yeah, but everyone back on Fund My Comic if you can. Is anyone like resisting, or what's the word for it? Where you're hesitant? Is anyone hesitant, like because you have to make a new account kind of on another website? Is it like something like that? Let me know. I'm just curious. And Henry Bemis, only $8 shipping instead of the usual 10. Yeah. 8 is a little more like break even-y, but it's just shipping anyway. 10 is like almost break even-y nowadays too. Everything's been going a little bit up because of inflation. Probably my next campaign, I might raise prices just a little bit, just like a couple bucks. But this one, they're kind of staying. This is what I would have priced something a year ago or whatever. It's like, yeah, double page floppy, $16. And a trade size book, $25. You know what I mean? Eventually trade size might be 30. It sounds like a lot, but like, it's like inflation. Like, oh, it's crazy. I think I've mentioned this a few times, but Compendium, that's a big tome, you know. I'm very proud of that book. It's cool how big it is, but it's 164 color pages and it's thick and heavy. It's $20 wholesale to print. So that's like insane. That was on the reprint if I ordered 500 of them, that might get it down to like $12 or something. I don't know. But when I order just like 20 of them to fulfill with Cerberus, there's 20 extras, or like here. So that one definitely just breaking even on, or even losing a little bit of money. But I want that one to be read. That one shouldn't get overlooked. That's the short story collection. It's legendary, or it will be one day. F in the chat. Thanks. No, when I accused of resisting arrest, I'll tell the cops that I'm hesitant about being arrested. Yeah. Simply Green. Shipping was killer, or I would have got the B-side. Oh, yeah. Yeah, the B-side's another one that's like going to be pretty rare eventually, because I don't know if I'm going to reprint it. And a few of the stories in it, they're good, but that was one of the only books that, I don't know, like it's deliberately not super high quality. It's all great and I love it, but it's not, if you like, especially compared to the compendium, you're like, well, it's literally the B-sides. These are the stories that got cut from the compendium. So not the best of the B-sides is worse than the worst of the compendium. So, you know, just by definition, it's not the greatest thing. And that's kind of cool almost, but it's like, yeah, it didn't sell, quite as much, and I probably wouldn't reprint it quite as much. With Kelsey, it's just that I want 2 books in one order package. I can't justify international shipping for just one book. Yeah. Is it set up that way for sorry, what's it called, on Fund My Comic? It's hard. Like, the only way I've found to do it is, yeah, you kind of have to like make the batches yourself of the combos. But then it's funny, like I'm seeing some of these, like, this one is not selling that much. So I could almost like remove it. This one, only 3. That one you need to have available because people need to be able to get Cerberus. But still, only one. Cerberus is lonely. Anyone, that's a good book. The reviews are coming out now too, and that one, I'm like, man, everyone likes it, and it gets good reviews. Like, but still, it's not really, doesn't have legs quite like Earthbound did, or even Foreign Agent. It feels a little bit different. But I think when part 2 releases, it will definitely like get kind of new life, and then maybe that will kind of be like the real solidifying of that book being like a classic kind of. I'm really looking forward to getting this part 2 out. I think there's some good stuff. There's a good twist. I'm curious if people will see it coming or whatever. And the story's kind of simple, which I like a mystery with the story is simple, but it also has a good twist. It's like a good combo for a mystery. I got to get more coffee. I'll get more coffee. Then maybe we'll look at a little bit of old Earthbound and then probably end the stream. But we're just hanging out. It's launch night. We're getting sales. Sales are coming in. I don't know if what I'm doing is helping sales. Am I helping sales? I do not know. Okay, I'll be back. F in the chat. Back Earthbound. Jolly Green. Am I helping sales? How many floppies do you think Grand Prix will come in? What do you mean? How many like total sales of that one floppy for the print run, basically? Like, I don't know. Like, maybe it'd be like a lower good number would be like 600. A higher good number would be 1,200. Which is like 1,200 would be pretty insane. It's at a little over 100 right now. Oh, Hype Wizard, how many books? Yeah, 6 parts, 6 each double issue. It'd be like a 12-issue comic. The first 3 make a trade, and the second one, is I'm fairly deep into production of that one already. That'll crowdfund early next year. The third one will probably be a year from now. And then that makes the first trade. And that alone is like a nice, like, consumable chunk on its own even. And then the second trade, after that, the last 3 issues, I think the way it's kind of structured, it's structured a little bit like Titanic. Like the entire second half / last third, but maybe last half is like literally all action. And I'm okay with it. But it's like, that's a little bit experimental almost. I don't know. It will be a little bit like manga does that. They'll have 150, 200 page action scenes in manga. So, yeah. Let me see here. All right, what am I doing? I'm going to look for the Earthbound. We'll just look at some Earthbound for a little bit. Clip Studio. Nope. Nope, nope, nope. Is the cover going to be black and white or color? Cover B. Good question. I was always picturing it that I would color it. But if for some reason, if everyone really wants it to be black and white, I could definitely be open to that. F in the chat. Are you in IGG at all or just from my comic? Just from my comic, maybe down the line, but it might be like a few months even before any IGG. And this is going to fulfill pretty quickly. So definitely I recommend everyone get on Fund My Comic, even if it means making a new account. Sometimes that's a hassle, but it's worth it. They go through Stripe, so it's like, you know, it's all very official. And it's good. It's good. It is good. And everyone who backs on Fund My Comic gets the Blowguard trading card. F in the chat. IGG can be damned. Indeed. They shadow ban too much. I'm sick of it. Okay, presento share screen. This is cover B for Earthbound. But yeah, you can see the symbology. He is Earthbound, a ball and chain. And he looks to the sky, and we don't see his face because F the face. Who gives a shit about the face? That's one of my rules, for reals. What's that? White? Inside cover, white. Oh, there's the old cover. I'm using it as the title page for the reprint. Also the Narwhal font. I forget how I created that, but it wasn't a font. Like I think I got some different fonts and thickened them, thinned them, dragged them across, did all this stuff. And it ended up looking kind of like the Marvel, the way Marvel is font, but it says Narwhal. It's very similar to the Marvel font. And I do that on purpose because I'm trying to stick it to Marvel because screw them. Narwhal is the new Marvel. Yeah. Boop. Okay. Page 1. What do we got here? 4 years ago, I've been shipwrecked, washed up on a beach, on a planet with pink aliens. Earth. Damn. No sign of the others. That's good. The ship, or a piece of it. I'm stuck here. Maybe I can conquer it. Earthbound. Dun, 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 dun. I added that intro way late in the game. That intro did not exist, and I added it. This book was like a shitstorm to put together because it was kind of made right on the cusp of me starting to get kind of good at writing or whatever. But so a lot of it was written, I don't know, like it took a lot of like fixing and messing with stuff. But so it was kind of beautiful shit show. A lot of my books are a little bit like that. Present day, tap, 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 chick, 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 chick. Guys coming. Pete, did you interview a kid who claims to be from another planet? Chick. Pete, aka Blowguard. I'm transcribing the piece now, actually. This is purely tabloid stuff, though. Print journalism is alive and well at the West High Bugle, I see. I was going to publish via a special edition flyers, but I ran out of wheat paste. Thank God for that. So this is a series, right? How many students has it been? 12 so far. It's a bit of a zeitgeist. It's definitely my journalistic responsibility to document it. You shouldn't encourage them. Just don't publish as nonfiction. That would be irresponsible. And I'd like to read a copy when you're done. Thank you for the opportunity. I'll have to write 2 versions because there's no way you're reading this version, you skeptic bastard. I think originally the line is like, you skeptic fuck. And I've changed it to make it PG-13. What is your first? Oh, sorry. This is if I do say so myself, this is a fun comic transition. So he stops. He's doing something. He hits pause so he can talk to him. As soon as the conversation ends, he hits play, and then he puts the headphones back on, and then we hear what he's listening to, what he's transcribing. He's transcribing a previous interview, and now we're hearing that interview. Like, that's cool, if I do say so. What is your first memory of Earth? It was the beach at first, but I have since remembered what happened right before. I see. A memory of a memory, left to rot on a backwards planet. I don't envy you, nor I you. Moving on. Was it a challenge getting off the island? I wasn't marooned on the island. I was marooned on Earth. I'm stuck here. That's the challenge. And then now we're not even listening. Now we cut to the flashback of the actual interview. So it's all over the place. This is like a lot of fun. And yeah, good luck keeping up with all this as it's happening. I think that's kind of what the energy is like. I don't put up in the corner like 1 week ago. This is the flashback of that interview. I'm like, let's just show it. They're talking, we're seeing, we're moving around. How do you plan to get off Earth? I'm hoping my friends might come for me, but what? It's the one on the left's birthday. According to this paperwork, I think they want to kill me. Now we're cutting to his actual friends on his way to potentially come kill him. So in like, what, 5 pages or something, we've cut through like 4 different scenes and had clever ways of cutting in between each scene. Oh, boops. I don't know if I can show that. Boops. I forget what it says. I'm going to have to read it off panel here. Let me see. So then the aliens are talking, and he says, is that the female one? Can't you see? They look the same to me. Can't you see the breasts? The other one has breasts too, though, but they are different. They might as well be twins. So I wrote this script in like 2014 or 2015, 2016, in that zone. And now I'm like, that page could almost like offend transgender people, maybe. I don't know. I don't even know. But I was like, oh, it's funny. It's kind of based. Aliens are based. Who knew? It's been 4 years since I went. Oh, it's been 4 years since they went into the stasis coffins. They went under at the same time. They were captured together. So they are buddies then. According to this, yes, they are. I wonder if they copulate. Not all human friends do that, you know. They do it in a place called the friend zone. That can't be true. And on Friendsgiving, they have giant orgies. That's what I heard. Just push the red button. Click. Happy birthday. And we cut to her drying her hair in an elevator. Ding! Spaceman gets on. Julia, spaceman. First shower in 4 years, they give us ice cold water. Bring it on, I say. My water was hot. Really? Yeah. And I've got a flat line down below. Is this normal? Hang in there, buddy. You telling me yours works? My vagina? Foosh! Too bright. Whew, they hit the light in the elevator. She looks out. Hey, spaceman, don't look now, but we're in the 13th ward. I had forgotten. It's nice to not remember after they wake you up while it lasts. It's true that I'd rather be anywhere but here. I don't really do close-ups like this anymore. Big page, single head close-ups. It looks pretty cool though. If I do close-ups, I usually make it a smaller panel. But a big panel and close-up is cool too. There's a few of them in this book. Was there something else I was going to mention? Oh yeah, I'm noticing there's like a fair amount of jokes. A lot of my comics don't have jokes anymore. I'm like, maybe I should try and be funny again. And these won't make you laugh out loud necessarily, but they help with this early expositional setup. The jokes kind of just keep things rolling a little bit, kind of just helping a little bit with that. I kind of want to keep reading. I'm going to go through a few scenes up to maybe around 20 pages. We'll see what like a first issue would look like. I know the actual first issue of this is like 36 pages, and it ends on a cool like cliffhanger kind of thing, but just go a little bit further. Right this way. Any ideas in regards to escape? I'm right here. I could give this guy a swift dropkick. Settle. This is the first page that I ever did that had 3D backgrounds. And at the time, I think kind of like nobody necessarily noticed, except a lot of people said they loved the background on this page and this page, which is all 3D, like super low poly. I didn't fully even understand how to do 3D, but it looks cool. And that was kind of when I started thinking like, oh, I could keep trying to get good at this and keep doing it. This is a huge expositional scene that I almost don't feel like reading, even though it's pretty good. It has some jokes too. But we'll stop there. I wish I could show you guys the original pages too before redrawing, because a handful of pages got redrawn, and the original pages are like super weird looking. They're definitely not as good. But yeah, let's stop. Charlie Green, stick it to Marvel. Chris Comics says, wow, love that white. Simply Green says, this is mine now. Yeah, did you win some of that action? I think you did. Effin says, I like the crook in the neck. Yeah, posing. Crick in the neck. That's like I do that a lot. Michael Bancroft. These pages are memorable. Thanks, Michael Bancroft. That's a nice, like outside the box compliment. That's cool. The Earthbound books are great reads, Henry Bemis says. Thanks, Henry. Coffee kicking in. For me or for you? For me too. So like, we want the R-rated cut. Effin, I just figured it out. The way the head and neck crick back makes him look defiant, not at the sky, but he knows is beyond it. Oh, I think you're talking about the cover, I think maybe. Phone home. Pokes. LOL. LOL. Oh, this is where my boobs were on the stream. I thought it was intentionally based on at least based curious. Intentionally based or at least based curious. Yeah, it was like accidental. It was totally accidental. I had no idea that I was like challenging a narrative sort of. Michael Bancroft. I was hoping they'd compilate. You know, one thing about it is I was at the time thinking about French New Wave, and there's a quote from Godard, and he says, all you need to make a movie is a girl and a gun. And another way you can kind of translate that is sex and violence is all you need. And so I was thinking for Earthbound, I'm like, I want there to be like some sex kind of going on through almost the whole book. And so it's like a teen sex comedy sci-fi is the genre mashup, which is kind of rare potentially. Endearing subtle humor. Tippy tail. I have Foreign Agent and Nosferatu. Foreign Agent was good too, and Nosferatu. Yeah, the lucky bastard who won the Narwhal Completionist Pack. 7 books. It weighs like 6 pounds. 6 pounds of books. If you count Narzac, which I kind of do. I think there's been 4 Narzac books, and then I've got like I think 8 books, 8 or 9 even now. And most of those are trade sized. A few are not trade sized. So I got like 8 trade sizes, and maybe this one is floppy you'd call. That's a lot of, and then with Narzac is 11. So it's like 13. I think I got 13 books out in the past like 5-6 years. So it's like one every two every year about, with a little head start because I was working on Foreign Agent and Earthbound before Comic Street started. But 13 books is a big, heavy. I got poundage of books. And there's so many that I can't offer them all for sale every campaign. And there's always some level of demand. So I'm like, I need to get a eBay store going or something. I need to figure something out. Hype Wizard, you've drawn an amazing amount of stuff, man. Yes. Call me Amicus says, 499. Is this you? Runner. And is there one other? I swear there is one other. Oh, yeah. Payment on delivery. Do you remember that one? I like that one a lot. That's another one, like one of the last ones that I would draw like in the super loose digital style kind of. Oh, payment on delivery. Yeah. Make a Shopify store. Is there a way to like do it print on demand, but then you just give up some profits, which I don't necessarily mind. What I kind of don't want is to have to randomly take a book every once in a while to the post office and pack it and ship it and everything. I like just doing 500 all at once twice a year is what I like to do or whatever. But if there was a way to make, maybe what people do too is you just wait every Friday. You do the orders from the week and you do them and take them in, and there might be 5, there might be 10, there might be 20, but you just do them once a week. Are you ever going to offer Narzak books in your own campaigns? I could. I would just give him half. But again, it's kind of the issue that I have so many already, so it's hard to know when to just complicate another campaign, and then the fulfillment gets even more complicated. Nardi, you got to start pinning the campaign to the top of the chat. Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. It's in the description, but I should pin it to the top of the chat, too. What are we looking at here? 705. Yeah, we're doing. Oh, yeah. Look at that. It updated. We're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. I wonder what I should do for the evening. I might stream to 2 hours here, just for the heck of it. I'll get close to 8 o'clock. Then I'll probably end. And then maybe one last little late night stream towards midnight, just to check in and say hi. Maybe like one more giveaway or something. And that'll pretty much be the last of me like working on launch day. And then I'm gonna tour many streams in the next couple of weeks. I'll just be on various channels saying hi, trying to let everyone know. And then it kind of just ends. I fulfill pretty quickly. And I guess I could mention, so there is a book that I haven't talked about much, that it's going to come out in September. And it's me and Jared Jules' epic collaboration. It's going to be another 300-page graphic novel. We got maybe 250 page. We got the first 120 pages coming out. They're pretty much all done. We're tweaking it and messing with it, but it'll be close to done by the time it launches. That one's called Hotel Story. It's about, it's a lot like Evil Dead. It's kind of like an Evil Dead-esque horror story, but it takes place in a hotel. And it's like a little bit funny, kind of like Evil Dead, but a lot of fun and super cool art style from Jared. It's kind of cartoony. I was describing his art style. He's been getting better. He's drawing that book, and I've been kind of paying him, but we co-wrote it. In my opinion, he's like a little bit of a genius. He's like a little strange artist, kind of like me. But then I'm like, yeah, he's like got something going on that I really appreciate, his brain or whatever, the stuff he brings to it. But his art style is really weird, but really cool. But he's all on top of that, he's been getting better. And I'm like, dude, I think you're like straight up Chuck Jones style now, pretty much. He's like, really? I was like, I think so. He's like, awesome, thank you. And but yeah, it's like Chuck Jones. He can draw multiple angles of anything, almost like Disney style, like the way Disney can, any angle. But on top of that, it's crazy design. Disney does kind of milquetoast design. Chuck Jones does not. So it's kind of changed by the time you got to page 120, it was little Chuck Jonesy, and I was like, dude, this is so good. So we've been going back and redrawing quite a few pages. I'm paying a little extra for the due diligence just to get this cool book out there. But that one will be another one where, like, I don't know how good it's going to do. You know, I don't know if it'll be Fund My Comic or Indiegogo still. Like, it'd be nice to do it on Fund My Comic, so maybe that. But that's kind of a cool one to kind of everyone keep your eye out for. You'll be seeing more of Jared Jewell. He helped me color Cerberus. He's the co-colorist on Cerberus. He's helped me with some Earthbound stuff here and there. There's some Earthbound stuff that's in the works-ish, but it's kind of sitting there because I need to find a way to clear up time to get to it, and it might just be the thing that happens after Grand Prix. But it's called Gaps, and it's Earthbound Gaps, and it's what happens in the 4 years between Volume 1 and 2. Like Earthbound 1 basically is those 2 volumes, and then Grand Prix, there's 4 years in between, or 3.5 years. And there I wrote 300 pages of short stories, and some are like 90 pages, but it's not structured like Earthbound and Grand Prix are, where there are 300 pages that's like a movie. It's all one story, all building all the way to the end. You can read it in one sitting and it feels like watching a movie. Gaps is not. Gaps is short stories and episodic, but it's just things that are happening, and a lot of them are fun. There's a couple that are like really cool, and I can't wait to get them out. And they'll be, even though they're different, those will be like definitely part of the main series that everyone should like check out and everything. And when those are done, it'll be 6 trades, right? Yeah, for the full series. And then I want to do one final full graphic novel movie style one that's 2 more volumes that I have the idea for, but I haven't written it yet. But it'll be great, pretty sure. It'll be fun too, because by then I'll be, like improving or whatever. So it'll be interesting how that one goes. And then maybe one prequel that's only 1 volume, and I don't know even what that will be yet. So that's a little bit of a conundrum, because it's like, it doesn't need to be anything. It's that level of prequel is almost like bonus, but it's like Earthbound 1 does kind of do this in media res thing where it comes in at the middle of a story where they were, questing for these pieces of the Butterfly Comet, and they had this super precious cargo, which was the Butterfly Comet stuff. They were getting tailed heavily by 13th Sponsor, whoever else, and WizKid escaped, but Spaceman and Julia did not. So that's kind of, that happened, but you don't know like the nature of like, oh, they actually went, like found the Butterfly Comet, got some cargo, escaped with it. And so you could play all that out, and it'd be you can hopefully make it good, but it's a little bit like you kind of know what has to happen and you know how it ends. So you want to have some fun stuff happen in there in the middle. I'll make sure if there's a way to do that. Another thing that I was thinking of how Earthbound could end, and I don't think it's going to end like this, but it could end maybe just kind of, even because of my own OCD, I think that would put it at 9 volumes. So it would be like this thick or thicker. It would weigh like 7 pounds by then. And all that's like, most of it's in my head. I could totally make it a reality. But then there's a 10th one. It's a prequel, is not really written yet or even thought of too much. And then the 10th at the very end, the bookend, there'd be one at the end. And the one at the end could be basically like WizKid or whoever getting to talk with God to reprogram the world with new rules. And God lets him be like, we'll do whatever you want. So just tell me what you want. Because he's like gone through a lot. And that one would be like philosophical and weird. And so I don't know if I'm even going to do that. I don't know how the last one will end. It might end more like Indiana Jones, like they kind of ride off into the sunset. They're kind of questing for freedom, basically. And there is like this loop, this sort of like toxic loop of, like, yeah, you'll be free, but your friend isn't free. And you go to save him and he gets free, but you get caught and blah, blah, blah. And it's like anytime you get free, like John Wick ends with him dying at the end. And that ends the cycle, that kind of like toxic loop or whatever of questing for freedom. But maybe they just do get free and that they kind of do get a happy ending finally. Or they get kind of so screwed that there can never be a happy ending. And WizKid eventually does get to like the final temple, which basically has, it'd be kind of like the Matrix when he goes into that room and talks to the architect or whatever, the engineer, I forget, I think the architect he's called. And it would be like a lot like that. And the guy would be like, what do you want? And WizKid would be like, I want no death. And the architect's like, you realize that will basically end everything that we understand. Like nothing can exist without death. If you end it, it's just going to be something completely new that we don't understand. And he's like, well, and I think the guy's like, it basically like, there's not even like room for everything if you do that. And then WizKid's like, well, can we like find a way to make more room to make it work? And the guy's like, maybe. And they kind of like invent heaven, I think. And then it would just end. But yeah. So I forget what I was. All right. What the fuck with the spoilers? No, that's like, this is like a fake book I haven't even written yet. Probably won't write. Probably won't even do. How it will actually end, which is not spoilers, I don't know. Like it would be part 3, the big movie style story. That this is not a spoiler, but it takes place at the school, the clandestine school. Like that's a very important part of the Earthbound universe, is this clandestine school where children get turned into warriors, and the whole story will take place there, or a lot of it. And I don't know how that one ends. Like I don't know if it has a happy ending. I don't know if they ride off into the sunset or whatever. Anna's on too. Didn't even see her. Anna, she's streaming now, or is she in the chat? Yeah. But what you sipping on, Nar? Just some coffee. Actually, it actually is getting a little late for coffee, but I didn't know what to do, so I made a pot of coffee. A poutus of caucus. That's how I pronounce it. We're getting sales. Yeah, gonna end the stream here pretty soon. Just hanging out. It's called The Architect because it's how Freemasonry calls God. Yeah. She's on whatever podcast with Venti. Oh, nice. That podcast is best viewed on mute. Yeah. So the campaign. Who hasn't backed yet? 73 people watching. Is everyone here backed? I bet you guys have. I'm just going to shame the chat into backing for 8 minutes and then get out of here. Caleb Brennell says, I didn't. Caleb, you're the one I always shame. I shamed you before and it worked. You respond. Caleb responds to tough love, as you say. Doc Swift says, you going to need an editor again, bro? Yeah, I think on this one, I will definitely be hitting you up, Doc Swift. Thanks for the offer. Caleb says, now that's the narwhal I know. Henry Bim says, shame, shame. Back Earthbound. Oh, yeah. Yeah, those Earthbound pages were pretty good. And I was like, shit, are they better than what I'm doing now? Did I make my best stuff in the past? Crap. I'm like, maybe I can bring some of the super loosey-goosiness is pretty fun. Make sure I add some super loosey-goosiness. There's a little bit of that in Grand Prix. Some kind of funny stuff. Some of the lines in the trailer, there's a lot of dialogue that's in the comic in the trailer. I'm fairly proud of a lot of that. There's one funny example of what I would kind of call good dialogue. It's in the trailer, and it's where the one guy says like, we picked up a prisoner. That's how we were out there early. He says he knows you, Wiz, and he opens the door and it's Blowgart. And Wiz is like, what's he say? He says like, oh shit, or something like that. And then the guy says, you know him? And WizKid says, you can untie him. So like it would be bad dialogue if WizKid says, yes, I know him. So if he's like, you know him? Yes, I know him. Like that's like bad dialogue. Good dialogue is he doesn't answer the question, but he does answer the question. Like we know exactly the answer is yes, he does know him, but he didn't say it. He just says you can untie him. Anytime you can do that, it's a good idea. I did it there. Jetto gonna back after SDCC is over. Cool. I appreciate it, Jetto. I like a few people back in mid-campaign. That's good stuff too. Keep it going in the middle. Those are the unsung. Those are the very valuable people. Jetto Jaga is famous because he has the quote. He says Narwhal started the Iron Age, which is I reference it, but not directly Jetto Jaga, but because it sounds ridiculous if you say that. But the argument is that the Iron Age, it's two things. It's people got kicked out of these legendary artists got kicked out of the mainstream, so they started selling independent comics. But also at the same time, people had been up and coming artists had been getting blocked and they hadn't got out. So there's kind of like two things that started it. There's up and coming artists who had been blocked and people getting kicked out from the top. So that's like Ethan. And then like I kind of am one of the main guys who was there at the beginning, who was a representative of the talent that got cut off. And there's a little bit of that like receipts to prove it too. Like I got immediately positive response from Earthbound from this one editor who's going to publish it. He worked for freaking I can't remember. It's not Boom, but it's Oni Press. He worked for a different kind of big company before Oni Press. Magnetic Press he worked for. Then he was talking to me about publishing it, and he's reading the script. He's saying he loved it. Then he got hired at Oni Press, and then he ghosted me as soon as he got hired at Oni Press. And I was like, did that motherfucker like find out I'm white or something? And then he's like, doesn't want to work with me anymore. And I eventually did sort of not exactly confront him, but I found him at a convention and said hi. And he got a big deer in the headlights look because he knew what he did. He's like, shit, is this kid gonna like stab me? And I was like, no, hey man, how's it going? I was like, we were emailing, did anything happen from that? And he's like, oh yeah, you know how it is. Got hired at a new company, you know. I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Jetto Jogger said, there ain't no denying it. Henry Bemis, Foreign Agent was the first Narwhal book I backed. So I'm fond of that one. Thanks, Henry Bemis. That one's a good one. Romy says, Oni is gone now. Yeah, it serves them right. Those bastards. Henry Bemis, you're not only white, you're straight and able-bodied. Trifecta of evil. Too legit to quit. Pretty much Satan. Yeah. He was terrified of your immense presence. Yeah. That was it was funny because there was like some energy thing a little bit where he definitely had deer in the headlights because he knew he had kind of been a little bit of an ass. Ghosting is not cool. Nobody likes it. And doing it, especially to an up and coming artist, because I had thought I'd kind of like, because he initially said like, just read Earthbound. It's fantastic. Would you ever consider publishing it in print? That was his message to me on Facebook of all places. And then we were talking for 2 weeks and then he ghosted me. I was like, you son of a gun. It's a test. I've been tested. Like Percival. Fugman, how you doing, bud? I'm doing good. Fugman, how's it going? 70 people watching. We're hanging out. We're going to end it soon, though, but we're kind of just hanging. I'm just checking. I'm trying to shame the chat into backing right now. You'd be surprised it works. Fugman, have you backed yet? Because if you haven't, shame on you, sir. How dare you? How dare you show your face here? I can steam up my glasses. I'm getting misty. Fugman says, sell me your wares. The one thing is, Sark says, using camel tactics. Yeah, the camel does it too. It works. I say it's good. It's good if we get people in here who didn't know about it or kind of knew, because I've been promoting it for about a week, trying to hype it up. But you'd be surprised. Well, it's just, yeah, like even in my own bubble, it's not that great. A lot of people still don't know. Earthbound 3 is out. We're doing it. So get on board. Anyone, if you liked Earthbound, now is the time. The new Earthbound story is live. Bemis says, refresh the campaign. Okay, let me see. Where am I? One second here. Share screen. Right at 2 hours, something happened. Boing. Badoing. Badoing going? Badoing. Hey! Hey! Would you look at that? Thanks, everyone. That's sweet. 113 backers. That's a lot. That's good. Yeah, I wonder how many we'll have at the end. So some numbers. Earthbound 2 was my most successful of all the Earthbounds. It had 1,200 backers. And I think that's a little unrealistic to hope for, but it's still in the realm of things that could maybe happen. But yeah, 1,200. Earthbound has about, they're out there. Those are like readers that have read part 1, part 2. Those are people that I hope will buy part 3 when it comes out. Some of them might be waiting for the trade. I don't know. Some of them maybe don't want to set up a new account on my comic. So many haven't heard of it yet, don't know, but they will. Even though I do the update on Indiegogo and let everyone know, but that goes to the to people's spam mail a lot of the time, so it's hard to let everyone know. You're gonna do fine. People love your art, brother. Thanks, Bugman. 11 hours, 6K. Yeah, not bad for a day's work. 6,001. Gonna buy some stuff from Tucci and Lepresti at SDCC to help pay for their trips out here. Yeah, good call. Those are good guys. Got some good guys in CG. It's funny. I go through phases where I'm like, damn, the era that I came up sucks because there's this huge gap between old talent and new talent, and it's mostly like a coward gap. It's not even political gap, but it's like these older dudes that don't want to, like, because usually you would have like friendships, even mentorships, whatever. You'd have all this stuff. You got none of that, and it's because they're cowards. But then, which is super disappointing. But then I'm like, you know what? That's not exactly true though, because there's a lot of them in CG, and they are all those things. They're friends, they're mentors, up to and including Ethan, the top dog. He's there for you when you need him, which is sweet. To a lot of people. Hype was just, this is the best era to create. Yeah, I mean, maybe so. It is fun. This is like the forefront of where indies have this chance to really challenge the mainstream. I want to make a couple of my movies. I got 2 scripts. I actually got 3, but the first one I wrote, it was a little bit too big budget. It took place in a boat on a river, a lot of it, and even that, you'd be surprised. That's like a little rowboat. That's like a little bit too much to do for a low budget affair. So then I wrote one that was a vampire road trip. And that one turned out pretty sweet. It's a little bit different writing for low budget movie, especially than for comics or whatever. But, you're writing, stuff that you can shoot yourself with not too many people, not too many herding cats, limited budget, hiring people to help you, whatever. and yet you still have to have stuff going on. You got to have like the entertainment value there. You could have like what Godard says, the sex and violence, or you can have the thing I've been obsessed with, which is interactivity. Or try to get, if you can get that into a low budget script, which is kind of hard to do, but it's kind of fun because you got to go real back to basics. And it feels good when you get it right. It's like, oh, that's cool. It's like all there, but this is like low budget. And I have that. So it's like this document I have. I'm like, this will work. I could do this, but I just don't know when exactly to pull the trigger. And then as I was doing that, I had another idea, and it was even more low budget. And it's basically just two people talking. So I wrote that one too. And that one, it's funny. It's split into 8 sections, and each section is about 10 minutes, and they're split into 2 sections. And there's change ups all the way through, even though 2 people are talking. There's constant evolutions of what's happening. And like, I don't think this will be boring. I think this will actually work, as a movie. So I am going to try and make that one too. It'll be a little more niche, a little more artsy fartsy. That could be the one that doesn't really get you anywhere, but you learn a lot doing it. And not that the vampire one would get me anywhere either, but a lot of it, I want to do it just to do it. But I'm glad that even at the script phase, both those scripts, they are good enough where I'm like, I feel good about putting them out in public. I wouldn't be ashamed. I'm actually kind of looking forward to it. I feel similar to them as I would about a comic. Like even the one of the 2 people talking, I would publish that as a comic, but I don't know, again, like just reading 2 people talking, honestly, is probably not the greatest, but what they're saying is like, to me, it's like funny and kind of cool or whatever. For like 80 minutes straight, their conversation is cool, and it's constantly evolving. And there are times where like a third character comes in and blah, blah, blah. They leave the house, they go for a walk, blah, blah, blah. And the end has a big bonfire and some extras. So the end does like cheat. But even that, I'm like, I could do that pretty easy, like a big fire with some friends. Dilly, have you done storyboards for your movies yet? No. I think about them in my head, though. And you know what I've been thinking about a lot that's a big challenge is the very beginning of the 2 people talking one. Script starts with that guy. He's walking. So he's this old writer. And it's not really said what is going on, but these are his walks he takes every day to think about whatever he's writing. And on this particular one, you kind of find out later, he's considering whether or not to kill this one character who happens to be kind of the main character of his book. And he's torn about it. So he's just walking and contemplating. And I'm like, I'm not going to say any of that. You find it all out later in dialogue with his wife. You kind of find out what's happening. And I'm like, okay, I want a little intro with a couple credits, him walking. How do you even make that like entertaining? I have a couple ideas, but that's like a challenge. It's like a beginning. You want your beginning to be good too. I'm like, you don't want people turning it off after literally 10 seconds because they're like, dude, it's just a boring guy walking for no reason. This is stupid. I'm like, he's thinking. They're like, I don't care. Fake podcast for 2 people talking, audiobook. Well, that's one of the things is like podcasts can be entertaining with just 2 people talking. So it's possible. Like you could conceivably make a movie of 2 people talking and it actually would be entertaining. But it's definitely a challenge. TB tell McKitty he could whistle. That's not a bad idea. That's good. Forrest Gump made a feather interesting. That the thing about that though, that is pretty great. I think that's high budget. There might be some of it was CGI. I don't know how they did it exactly, but I'm like, how did you photograph that? But I'll tell you one idea I had is one is he sees a deer because there are deer everywhere around here. I'm like, I could probably get him and a deer in the same shot at some point. Just one shot of him and a deer. People would be like, little light bulb, like, oh, it's a deer. That's kind of like out of the box a little bit. That's kind of cool. Buy you like 10. What's funny is that literally buys you 10 seconds because you'd be surprised how quickly shit gets boring. That's why you need interactivity. But there's actually not that much interactivity for guy sees deer. People are like, okay, I get it. Guy sees deer. Okay, I'm literally turning this off. This is stupid. But another thing I want is like his wife is doing stuff too. I think she's like gardening maybe. And then the last thing is a shot of the sink. She's like running some water to do some dishes. So the water's running, the sink is clogged, and the water level is slowly rising. and it will be at an uncomfortable level, getting kind of high to where it's gonna like overflow in the sink and get in the kitchen. And that's my trick. I think that will work. Oh, and I thought of one other thing is the old man, because I've been, I jog and walk a lot around. I'll probably shoot it around here. Walk around here a lot. There's a spot where it's kind of a sort of a bridge kind of thing. Beneath it is like all these trees kind of go under this valley. And there's cars everywhere, though, this kind of zone. And then that bridge, it has a little railing with metal bars, and then a concrete beneath that. The metal bars are right at the top. I think the old man might take a stick, and he's like, ding, 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 ding. But again, that buys you 10 seconds. That buys you 5 seconds. There's actually no interactivity there. Nobody's going to be like, oh, that's sweet, dude. He's like dinging the bars with a stick. I used to do that when I was a kid. This is awesome. I'm going to watch this for a minute straight. People are like 5 seconds. But I did think of another thing, and this could be like, I think it can't be in the movie, but it's like separate. But I just thought it. I was like, shit. But it's like the stick could be a boy, and then the old man meets the boy. The boy's holding the stick, and then when you cut to the man coming home, he's holding the stick. That is interactivity. Then you're like, oh shit, what happened to the boy with the stick? You're like, that's a little weird. I might do that. I don't know. But then you need a child actor, et cetera, et cetera. And then you need to answer the question, and the payoff might not be as good. Like, I was thinking like the old man being like, the wife's like, how'd it go? He's like, I met a young man with a stick, and he gave me his stick. He could be like, yeah, I met this kid with a stick, and he's like, you look like you're thinking about killing someone, mister. And if you're going to kill anyone, use this stick. And he handed me this stick. And it's funny because I was thinking about killing someone, but it's only in my novel. But not going to do that, just random thoughts. But one of the things I was thinking walking around, there's a cool location behind the college. It's this dirt road that runs along with the power, what do they call it? The power poles, the power grid, whatever, all through like this forest. But then it's like dead grass, dirt, broken down cars, tires, kind of weird and trashy, but a cool forest around it, long trail, and it dips down super deep into this gully and then back up. But there's a trail the whole way, and a lot of that's like deserty, dead grass, rattlesnakey, rocky, but then trees everywhere too. It actually looks really cool, but like kind of trashy, but beautiful at the same time. Like, it'd be cool to shoot something there. And this is totally separate, but I was like, a basic interactivity setup you could do is that I could shoot with just my friends is like, what you might need 3 actors. So you'd have like, and it's one of the only stories I'd want to do. All my friends are like, 30s, and you'd be surprised, but that is not old enough yet. Cause we drank the frog water growing up. So we don't look like men yet. So you got to cast 40-year-olds or 50-year-olds in movies, or else it doesn't look like a real movie. So I'm like, I could still make one with my friends. They'd be younger, just for this one like short film that this would be. But it'd be one friend calling the other, being like, hey, do you remember that one guy who like screwed you over? And the guy's like, yeah. And he's like, he's here right now. And the guy's like, oh, really? And then he's like, yeah. And then the guy's like, does he know who you are? Does he know you know me? And he goes, no. He's like, can you get him to the spot? He's like, yeah. So then it's one guy leading another guy, tricking him to come out to this spot for whatever reason I haven't figured out yet. And the other dude who hates the dude is going to meet him there. They're going to ambush him. So he's walking into a trap. That's like basic interactivity. That would work for a short film. The problem is that's operating on one level. Some of it, we've kind of seen it before. It's loosely based on the tropes are based. The kind of interactivity is based on the Cask of Amontillado, the Edgar Allan Poe short story. But basically, this walking into a trap short story works really good. And that could be like a short story. You could do it. You could work. But I was like, if there could be another layer of interactivity somehow built, which kind of means like, what other context can I add to it? What about this guy going into this trap? First off, what did he do to screw him over? I don't even know. He took some money or something. And what are they planning there? I don't know if they're actually going to kill him. They might just like beat him up or whatever. but I haven't really thought of like the double layer of interactivity. I'd like to get 2 layers on it. I've noticed that sometimes 2 is better than 1. 3 is almost too much a lot of times, but 3 works. People can do that. But 2 is really nice. 1 is okay. 1 is bare minimum a lot of times. But like that is, if the guy's walking into it, if you'd set that up like guy walking into a trap, you can have the audience watch that. They'll keep watching. Because like, I got to see, is he going to get murdered? What's going on? But if you get 2 layers of interactivity, and that would be like, it could quickly get too soap opera-y, too dramatic or whatever. But, the guy that they're leading into a trap, he could also have a little secret that he is bringing to the table. And whatever that may be, I'm not sure. Like, this would be so stupid, but this is what it could be like. Say he stole $500 from the one guy, and he doesn't know that guy knows this guy. He's getting led into the trap. He used that $500 to invest it or to like gamble or something, but he happened to win. So he has a bunch of extra money and he wants to give that guy, and because he feels bad about stealing the 500, he wants to give him $10,000. And so then he's like about to give him $10,000, but then he gets shot and gets killed. Like that actually is double layer interactivity, because then you have on top of it the kind of like miscommunication, the dramatic irony, the tragedy, all that stuff on top. The problem is that that's like cheesy and stupid. So you got to think of something that actually works, but that's like kind of an example. Java Steer says, speaking of frog water, 5 a.m. got to go to the pond, feed the koi. Nice. F in the chat. Context means everything. And when the situation forces an assumption out of the context, you might just have it wrong. Yeah. That's like a little bit like paranoia that keep you going. Blair Witch Project made a few twigs special. Yeah, it's all about the twigs, I'm telling you. American Beauty would have made sense if they showed the colonel's lover dying in Vietnam. Yeah, maybe they should have. I don't really know. I can't remember that one too much. I'm familiar, but we had a fawn get caught in her fence last year and broke her hip. Had to perform an old yeller. Oh, no. That is brutal. What does that sound mean to a person who doesn't know what's happening? Are you talking about the ding, ding, ding with the... You could probably show it. You could show it hitting, and then people would know. Maybe not show for a little bit, but... Doing that with the stick makes the old man likable. Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, that's funny. It's relatable in a weird way, but I don't know. Like, it's like one of these weird things. Like, why is that relatable? It's not like I do it too often. But that was funny because I had a stick, because I went through this gully and there were spider webs. So I grabbed a little stick and I was just kind of like knocking spider webs out. And then I pop out on the road, because this town is kind of weird. It's kind of cool, but there's weird like paths that all of a sudden become super forested areas, but they're kind of homelessy, kind of scary, but I'll still go in them, and they're not crazy or anything. And yeah, but down there are spider webs. So I grabbed stick. So I had this stick. I was just walking with this stick or jogging. And then I passed that railing, and I immediately started hitting the rods. And I was like, what if the old man does this? That'd be cool. Narwhal, have the guy that informs the protag about that guy already know the guy won money and intends to share it. So he gets the protag to kill him, then goes and takes the money himself. Yeah, that would be a double layer. That would add a second layer to it. That something like that exact kind of situation, but maybe not with the money and the repay. Maybe you could still do that, but because I don't even know if I like that too much. That it kind of is weird that a character would steal money and then want to give it back. But maybe, I mean, actually, you could almost do that, because that is in some ways, in an odd way, that's sort of realistic. Like if a character, if he's a junkie, they'll do stupid shit to get their fix. So he steals money, gets his fix, and then like he's like kind of satiated, realized he made a terrible mistake, and he has an opportunity to fix it. So he just wants to fix it before anything bad happens. but it's kind of already too late. You could do something like that. But yeah. Let me see here. Yeah, I think backings have kind of slowed down a little bit. That's cool though, to be expected. 69 people watching. I'm not sure we've got another sale even since, so I won't update it. But I am gonna end the stream here in just a little bit. But yeah, it's shaping up to be a fun first day. This is cool. It's weird, like this feels better to me than the 14,000 first day of Cerberus. Like that felt weird. And then it slowed down a ton, and that kind of didn't feel good. This feels good. Like feels like we're just, everything is profit-ish. I have no overhead because I do all the production myself. And it allows me to put money back into the projects I've got going. I hired Brendan Swan to write something. I got Jared doing something for me. Got some projects coming out. The Narwhal train keeps a rolling. There will be kind of like, yeah, just I'm definitely excited for all the things that are coming out. Hotel Story, Grand Prix is gonna be great. Gaps. There's a guy who did an indie game called Elisa, and he just verbal, and it's cool if he ever for some reason didn't want to do it, but he basically gave me the rights to make a comic of it, which I do want to do, and I'm going to do like as soon as I can. As soon as I get a budget, I'm going to hire a writer to write it and hire an artist to draw it, and I'm just going to like help here and there, but it kind of will be something I just put into production. Narwhal is a martial art. Said thanks for the hangout. Yeah, no problemo. So everyone, consider backing if you haven't yet. I know a lot of people here are going to back at some point, no matter what. Everyone's getting on board, which is a lot of fun. Very heartwarming, very fun. Good launch, good first day so far. Still might do one last little stream kind of really late. Might hop on with Ethan or anyone if they go live. Richard Lucero, have you ever explained your ape avatar? Yeah, that was just like a painting I did a long time ago, and I kind of had to randomly pick something, so I picked that one. So it's not really anything that big. Cool. All right, with that, everyone, thank you so much. And yeah, I'm going to end the stream. I'm going to click on the button. I click on the button.